Hey guys, I'm going to make a quick overview video with a few details. There's a lot of reproduction cartridges floating around, and there's a lot of scammers trying to pass them as original, and you have to be vigilant and do your own research, look at pictures, compare, and it has to do with the smallest minute details. You'd be surprised that you can authenticate these yourself and be safe in investing and buying these collectibles that are starting to gain a lot of value. And some of these games are very expensive, so you have to know what you're looking at before you just blindly buy something. First thing to look at on some of these labels is just the texture, the material that was used, and the color. Is it too bright? Is it not bright enough? You need to look at pictures online and just make your comparisons. Another thing to look at is some of these cartridges will say made in Japan or made in Mexico, and some won't, even though some are made in Mexico, like this one, and I've seen reproductions that say made in Mexico. It does not say it on the front, but if you happen to have the original back, it will say it. And it is acceptable that some of these backs have been replaced, but you have to question, why was it replaced? If you have a Earthbound game that says made in Japan on the back, you need to question that. Why did they change it? Another thing that I see that's an inconsistency on reproductions is this seal of quality on some of the cartridges. It's little, some are big, some are shiny, and some aren't. And sometimes they're in different positions. You need to make sure you've got the one that's in the right place. Same way with the Super Nintendo, and then underneath it, it will say entertainment system. Sometimes you'll see it really tiny that fits in the whole red box, and then sometimes it will be very tiny and be at the top of the box, or the box will be bigger or smaller. Those are small details that sometimes the reproduction labels do not pick up on. Also, how does the label fit? Has the corners been trimmed? Does it look like there's a gap? Sometimes these cartridges don't have a gap in the labels. Most of the Earthbounds that I've seen do not have a gap, but it's acceptable on other cartridges. So just be careful and really do the research. This is an example of a game, one of the hardest ones this one, it was really hard to find a good example of a nice label, even though it does have a little mark right here. Some of these cartridges come unglued at the top of the label. There are several that do come unglued often, so you got to worry about if someone's glued it back down, did they do a good job? Wayne's World is one of the hardest ones to find that doesn't have a label peeled up. This one does not have a label peeled up, and it's never been repaired. Even though it has the damage on it, it's still good for my collection. And I have another video about cracking these open and checking out the circuit board. Just make sure you look at these circuit boards and you get a feel for them, what an authentic one should look like, which you can just find a cheaper cartridge, just a $5 or $10 cartridge, and open it up. No one's going to fake those because it's probably expensive to even fake them in the first place. So, but that's all I have for now. Hopefully this helps. Just pay attention to the details. And I know I'm just a little guy and I just started making videos. I've been on here for 15 years, but I've been collecting for over 20 years, and I've amassed probably 3,000 video games and 100 consoles and toys and comic books and everything else. So I'm pretty knowledgeable about this stuff at this point, but I can still learn. So if you guys have any comments, leave them. Maybe something I left out. But I just want people who are collectors like me to be aware of some of these inconsistent problems, and just don't be ripped off, and do your best to do the research and share the research. Hopefully we can become smarter collectors for it. Thank you.